Sadio Mane has just had surgery and is out of the World Cup. Kind of feels like that came out of nowhere. 1 second I was reading it was a knock. He was in the Senegal squad. Next second he's out and he's under the knife. Unbelievable. This injury is extremely interesting and much more severe than we initially thought. Going to explain it all to you right now. Let's go. So Mane has ended up with surgery, but we need to follow Bayern's recollection of events if this whole thing is going to make sense. So listen closely. On the 8th of November, on the FC Bayern website, it says this: Sadio Mane taken off with knock. Sadio Mane had to go off after 20 minutes of FC Bayern's 6-1 win at home to Werder Bremen. And then the coach says, he took a blow to his tibial plateau. It's a painful spot. You'll have to have an x-ray to see what's happened. It was initially just a knock. Then the next day, this is when it gets interesting. Listen closely. Sadio Mane has suffered an injury to the head of his right fibula in FC Bayern's win over Werder Bremen. Further examinations will follow in the coming days. FC Bayern is also in contact with the medical staff of the Senegalese Football Association. So that's when you're starting to think this is getting serious. Now we need to go to our anatomy tour, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why the head of the fibula is a really important spot. Right, here's one I made earlier. What you can see here, looking straight ahead, you can see the lower legs, including the knees circled here, big femur, tibia and fibula. Now remember, he's had an injury to his right fibula head, and I will zoom in on that for you now. So this is his fibula, lower leg bone, and circling it is the fibula head. Now let's zoom in on this. The fibula head is important because a lot of structures insert there, particularly ligaments and tendons that are important to the stability of the knee. So it looks like a small place, but it's really significant. Now check this. Let's add some stuff. Look closely. Remember this area, okay? Can't see anything yet. Can't really see anything yet. Bang. Right, so these are the first ligaments we can see that just connect the fibula and the tibia together there. You can see them. Then if I add another layer, then you start to see some important ligaments come through. This is the arcuate ligament, arcuate popliteal ligament, part of the posterolateral corner of the knee, and really important to knee stability. It attaches at the fibula head, which Mane has injured. Let's add another one. Bang. You can see his LCL, his fibular collateral ligament, again important to the stability of the knee, attaches to the right fibula head. Now muscles, let's add some muscles onto this now, okay? Can't see anything yet, can't see anything yet, can't see anything yet. Remember, we're watching the fibula head here. Watch closely, and bang. What we have here is really important tendons. You've got the perineal tendon, that originates at the fibula head, just at the top. But more importantly, I would say, you've got your hamstring tendon, the biceps femoris tendon, which inserts right here on the fibula head and helps to bend your knee. Okay, so what we can see, you've got important biceps tendon there, part of your hamstring. You've got your arcuate ligament there. You've got your, where is it? You've got your fibular collateral ligament there. So all things that are really important attaching onto the right fibula head, which Mane has injured. This brings us to Bayern's latest statement. Sadio Mane undergoes successful surgery. Sadio Mane underwent successful surgery in Innsbruck by Professor Christian Fink and Dr. Andy Williams from London on Thursday evening. During the operation, a tendon was reattached to the head of his right fibula. So mystery pretty much solved. He suffered something called an avulsion of the tendon from the right fibula head, okay? An avulsion is simply a tearing away, and a tendon is torn away from that fibula head, causing issues. I would suggest that that is the biceps tendon. I think that is the more likely thing, right? And that has been reattached just recently. Now, if we look back at the origin of this injury, it was a strike to his tibia, if you remember the first statement. Now this, it's not a particularly common injury, but can cause an avulsion fracture of the fibula head. And this is potentially worrying because these types of injuries are associated with ligament damage in and around the knee. So they're associated actually with ACL and PCL injuries, but I don't think Mane has any of those because I just feel Bayern would have mentioned if he had an accompanying ACL injury and he was going to be out for, 9 months to a year. However, remember that arcuate ligament we spoke about, that posterolateral corner of the knee that I mentioned before. I wonder if alongside the tendon being pulled away, he's had an accompanying injury to those ligaments. The reason why I wonder is simply because they flew in Dr. Andy Williams from London. Andy Williams is basically a rock star surgeon. He does a lot of high level knee surgeries for Premier League footballers, okay? And if they've flown him all the way from London in, I wonder if it's because, you know, it required some sort of advanced techniques or, you know, multiple ligament reconstruction or something like that. It's just something that came to my mind. So we know that he's had an injury to a tendon that attaches to the right fibular head. And alongside that, it's pretty common with this mechanism to actually suffer injury to the posterior lateral corner of the knee. So ligaments may be involved also. Now, the question everyone always asks me, how long is Mane going to be out? Now, I genuinely don't know. It's not a particularly common injury, but I would probably say it's months rather than weeks. If we go simply by a hamstring tendon repair that I've seen, you know, plenty of times before, that's kind of a 10-week, 3 months type injury. And we don't know how much ligamentous involvement there is also, and, you know, the exact grit of the surgery, okay? So I can't really say, and I don't want to speculate too much, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was anywhere from 2 months to, if there's many ligaments involved, 3-4 months, okay? I feel, again, Bayern may have mentioned if he was going to be out the rest of the season, which makes me think he'll be back before the 6 months, but that is speculation as well. If you like this video, I've got another video on Pogba's injury that kept him out of the World Cup. Check it out here. Otherwise, peace.